Welcome to Familypreneur, the podcast for parent entrepreneurs
raising kidpreneurs.
It's time for your weekly dose of inspiration and actionable tips to build your business and find better balance, all while strengthening your family. And now we'd like to introduce your host.
She's my mom and thebomb.com,
Meg Brunson.
Hey there, thanks for joining me on another episode of the Familypreneur podcast.
Today's guest is a Navy wife, a toddler mom times two, and the owner of multiple businesses. Being an Army veteran herself, she has a unique skill set to take large ideas and projects and break them down into simple yet effective steps that anyone is able to follow. She's the founder of Monetized Mama, a consulting agency where she helps leaders with influence create, build, and launch their own offers to monetize their audience. I'm really excited to introduce you to Kristin Arilus. Thank you so much for being with us for another Familypreneur Summit, Kristin.
No, thank you for actually inviting me. I am so happy to be here.
Well, I want to just go over some questions so that our community can kind of get to know you a little bit better and learn a little bit about what they're going to receive from you when they attend the Organic Marketing Summit that's happening really soon, November 9th through 13th. So first of all, the summit is very focused on goal setting and not only goal setting, but just planning in general. How has goal setting impacted your journey and successes as a super busy entrepreneurial mama?
The way that I will answer that is I truly believe that you cannot get anywhere unless you know the direction. Like you hear it all the time. You can't get anywhere. Like you can't set the GPS if you don't know where the end goal or the end place will be. And so I feel like, especially with everything that I have going on with my husband being away and two toddlers, and we're all in COVID, so I don't have any local family. And not only am I building my business, but I'm actually building out sales pages and funnels for my clients' businesses as well. And so with that, I realized me setting my goals, what happens is if I know where I'm trying to go, and that's kind of what we hint on in my session, is I could decide what my effort needs to be to get me to where I want to go. Therefore, if I have limited time, I'm focusing on the tasks that are the least amount of tasks that gives me 80% of the results.
And I just want to talk a little bit about the conversation. We talked about this in the presentation, but we both had very different ideas on what KPIs were. And so I feel like the most exciting piece for me is that I come from a place, and maybe some of our listeners and viewers will be able to relate, where when I think about KPIs, I think about results like link clicks and traffic and conversions and sales. I'm very results driven. And I love that what you brought to the table, what you brought to the summit in this presentation was not results driven, but effort driven. So it's stuff that you're actually in control of. So it's not just what happens, but what you can do to influence those actions. And I'm so glad, this is one of the reasons why I'm so glad to know you and have you in my circles, because you brought something to the summit that I didn't even know we needed, and we need it so badly. So I want to thank you for that. And we talked a little bit about goal setting, and I know that there's a lot of similarities between goal setting and actual planning, but could you kind of expand on that and talk about how planning across different aspects of your business allows you to be you have a huge success story that you don't need to go into the whole thing, but maybe if you want to touch on that a little bit, how amazing Q3 was for you in the middle of COVID when so many businesses are struggling and you're quite simply not. So
For me, I made a decision that I did not want COVID to take me out. I feel like I was building this I have been building this business for so long that I was like, absolutely not. Like, I need to figure out something. So we kind of touched on it inside of my session. I basically brought in $19,000 in total for the year 2019 in my business. However, in Q3 alone, I closed $75,000 in sales, and I have the intention to close $120,000 in Q4. And so with that being said, I realized that with the goal setting and making a decision and how that differs from like just regular planning, when I knew what my end goal was, and I also knew that I had limited time to truly focus on like spending time in my business, when you plan for your effort or the actions that you're going to take for you to get the results, like we have no control over anything that requires someone else. We have no, like, even though I have the intention to make $120,000 in sales, that requires somebody else to say yes. So if it does not happen, then it's not 100% in my control compared to me saying, what are the things I could do to position myself that the 120,000 will come to me, that I will attract the right people who say yes, who want to work with me. And that's the difference I would say in between the two is like closing your sales, the number of sales calls, the number of people coming to your page or like your website, the number of people who click an email or open an email, that all requires somebody else to take action. And most business owners, we tend to beat ourselves up when it's not the numbers we want. But if we focus solely on, am I a woman or a man of my word? Did I do what I say I was going to do to help me get the results that I desire? You start pumping your chest and feeling good about yourself because you're doing exactly what you said you were going to do. I also realized that when you do it this way, if you say, here's how many live video, I'm looking over here because this is my board because I set my intentions myself. Here's how many live videos, social media posts, emails, connection calls that I say I'm going to do every week. When you do those and you realize I said what I said I was going to do, or I did what I said I was going to do, and you track it week after week, you can also track what did you do? What were your effort or your actions that you did? And how did that correlate to your sales? And you tend to notice you actually make more money doing less. You start noticing that when you try to do like 7 posts a week, or some people post 3 times a day. Right now, I could post 3 or 4 times a week and hit my sales goals because I'm consistent. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality. So I could post 3 or 4 good, engaging, inspiring, interactive posts and get the results that I desire, but I only know that I could do that because I started tracking my numbers. I started tracking what are the efforts, the things that I said I was going to do, and did I do them? And I could also see on the weeks where I let life get me too busy to do those things, my income did not match. It would not stay where it was supposed to be. So you could also see where you dropped off. And then the last part of that is I do want to kind of put out there, the results today are not from your actions today. The results you have today are from your actions from last week, 2 weeks ago, or even a month ago. Because it's like this snowball effect. So if you're not like let's say if I took off let's say I took off a week for vacation last week, what would happen is that may not present itself for my sales this week or next week, but maybe a month from now, my sales will be a little bit lower because I had to get back on the momentum. I had to catch that momentum again from that time off if I wasn't doing the activities that I said I was going to do. And I think that's the difference between like just planning and deciding here's what I want and here's how I'm going to do it, compared to making a decision that regardless of anything else I'm doing in my business this week, here's the intentions I have, here's how many posts I'm going to make, how many emails I'm going to send, and you stick to your word, you start having confidence in yourself because you start seeing that you are a woman or a man of your word and you can create what you desire.
Yeah, and you referred to this in your presentation, not that I want to give away all the gold, but I think that's another reason why you need to develop a plan or set your goal and your plan to reach that goal and stick to it for 60 to 90 days because it's not an immediate thing. And I think so many of us, I'm included in that bundle, get discouraged too quickly that something isn't working, and then we switch our strategy to try something else. And if you switch too often, then you're never going to know. When you find what works, you're not going to know what it was because you didn't stick with it long enough. So you just have so much more value to contribute. I don't want to give away all the gold. You're sharing it all, though, at the Organic Marketing Summit. Over the course of that week, November 9th through 13th, attendees are building their 2021 marketing plan alongside over 20 industry-leading experts like Kristin, who are all super invested in their success. The tickets are completely free, so I just want to encourage anybody listening to head on over to organicmarketingsummit.com and reserve your free ticket. I encourage you to do it now, right this second, because we are busy and you will forget. Even, you may think it's only going to take a minute and you'll get to it in about 15, but something is going to happen within the next 10 minutes that is going to make it impossible, whether it is your child related or client related. So go ahead and book that free ticket now before you forget. I promise you this session, I feel like is totally worth it. I've got so many notes and so many incredible resources that I've gained from that presentation. And I cannot wait to share that with all of our attendees. So thank you so much for taking the time to deliver so much value.
No, thank you for having me. This was truly exciting to be a part of this and truly share my heart and share literally step by step what got me to the success that I had last quarter.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kristin.
Thank you.
Head over to organicmarketingsummit.com and grab your free ticket to the Organic Marketing Summit today. It's happening November 9th through 13th, and you definitely don't want to miss it. Bye for now.
Do us a favor. Share this podcast to a friend. It's like my mom always says, sharing is caring.